And welcome to Early Settlers Stadium for tonight's game against our Ken Frost Homes Dolphins up against the Sunshine Coast Phoenix. Joining me in commentary tonight, Alex Lousy Loughton. Good to see you back again, Louse.
Hey Gav, how you doing?
Oh, we're going to have a great night tonight. Phoenix played Townsville last night, went down by 12 points, but it was a pretty impressive game by a couple of their superlative, fantastic, how else could you call them? Abby Bishop, Nat Hurst, almost played the whole game, the two of them, and between that, 49 points out of the 75. It's a pretty impressive effort.
Definitely impressive. Obviously coming in tonight, maybe tired legs, but they've certainly got a lot to play for, the Phoenix. Still, obviously in finals, they're seeing how high they can go, how high they can finish up. The Dolphins, of course, looking to play spoiler and ruin their positioning going to the finals.
Yes, the Dolphins find themselves in 9th position on the ladder. Unfortunately, just going to miss out on finals this year. But as you said, opportunity to spoil the night for the Phoenix in the last home game for the Dolphins for 2018.
Yeah, look, the Dolphins, there's quite a few changes this year, Gav. Obviously, Coach Kerry Williams on, a lot of different players coming through. They got a chance to obviously finish on a high and take stock of the season. There's been some great games, some unreal performances, but it's going to be curtains tonight for the Dolphins. But for the Phoenix, they're trying to finish this doubleheader and try and split the weekend.
Yeah, they had the opportunity to win both games and finish in the top 4, and going down to Townsville last night, looks like they're going to finish outside the top 4. But great effort for a team that travels quite lightly. Only 7 players on the court there looking at us at the moment. But these Dolphins have certainly come a long way this season from what they started with. A couple of imports came in. The introduction of N.D. Bryant was certainly an injection they needed. She came in and averaged 20 points early when she arrived on the shores, and there's certainly potential for this team in the coming years.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're looking at the makeup of some of their younger girls as well. I really like what Elle Hutchinson brings to the game. They need that second backup guard that can handle the shoulder a bit of the load that Myra Donkin does so well on a nightly basis. If they can maybe get a bit better balance in each of those positions, that really helps down the stretch of the season. Then that'll be good for the Dolphins.
And LJ Williams, she's seen some incredible court time this season. Put up 20 points on a couple of road games down south in Brisbane. Got a big ask tonight coming in when Rachel Pride jumps off the court, but to look after Abby Bishop. But we'll just take a quick pause for the national anthem.
National anthem.
As we're saying, LJ Williams coming in to the game as a rotation with Rachel Pryor, but she'll certainly have a work cut out for her trying to keep Abby Bishop quiet tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the young guarding the old, I don't know, an age check on LJ Williams. Do you know if her age, I believe 16 or 17, am I right about?
Very close, yes.
And I don't have an age for you for Abby Bishop. I think she'd have to be close to my age at 35. But she certainly brings a wealth of experience. But LJ does have her work cut out for her. However, she is long in the arms. She can really, contest a lot of those shots and just disrupt someone of the likes of Abby Bishop, but you know, she's a seasoned veteran, and she's got to lead her side into a good finals position. So I expect a lot of fire from both sides tonight. A lot to play for, and it should be an exciting contest.
Yeah, Bishop averaging 23 points and 11 rebounds, but also Nat Hurst, a ton of experience as well, also averaging 23 points for the Phoenix.
Yeah, I mean, she's dynamite from the field at three-point percentage. Anything in the 40s is great, Gav. 45 is even better. 47% is going to be, you know, an unbelievable amount. She obviously shot that last night. She's feeling good, but certainly she'll carry this team a lot for the Phoenix.
Yeah, between the two of them, they certainly put up the majority of points, but they also play the majority of minutes. Both of them have been averaging 38 plus minutes for the entire season, so a lot of workload goes onto the court just from those two players.
But I'm sure they're going to be efficient with their time on the floor as well, Gav. They're not going to dive on a ball that's not gettable. They're going to, you know, they're going to control when they have those energy outbursts, when they can sense the momentum shift. They're going to be on the opposition hammer. So seasoned veterans, and I expect that veteran efficiency. And just looking forward to what they can do tonight.
So Coach Williams in his final game for this season has got to be happy with what he's been able to achieve in his first season as coach with these girls. Brought in those couple of imports, Perkins and Bryant, which certainly added to the depth of the team. As you said, you like Elle Hutchins off the bench. LJ Williams has put in some great performances. And also, you know, Captain Myra Donkin, she's had a great season as well. Last couple of weeks, we've also seen Jade Kennedy putting up some few more shots and being able to get a few more buckets. Great to see her performing well as well at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they brought in, obviously, India Bryant almost as a big position. It was quickly noticeable that she was more of a 3/2, a two guard, really. And that obviously put, you know, a bit of indecision on Perkins, or where does she fit in. So getting that balance right from the start is going to be something that they really look into in this off season, but certainly a lot of really positive building blocks that they can look to in terms of how they structure their team for next year. Kerry Williams, it's a different kettle of fish coaching women's basketball. It's his first outfit in this semi-professional you know, environment. I think he's really enjoyed the experience and really come to life, knowing that he can pursue a bit of coaching in his career post playing. So I think he's quite excited to perhaps like continue on, and with that momentum of you know, getting the same coaching position, then you can actually build towards something great. And I think these girls are set for something good in the future.
Yeah, certainly. As we just wait for the start of the first quarter here, I believe we're going back to front to what we normally do tonight, Lowes. The Phoenix are going to be going towards the Dolphins bench in the first quarter, and vice versa. So we're. I
saw them warming up at the opposite ends of the floor. Not sure of the strategy behind that. Are you aware of any?
Not sure. I just heard the conversation being had before the game, and the request was put in, and.
What it means is that you can play the second half of second quarter, obviously going back towards your bench. You can at the offensive end, so the second quarter and the fourth quarter, you're playing in front of your bench to finish the half, finish the game. You get that instruction from coach straight away, and it's supposed to give you a bit more of an advantage. So we'll see if it pays off.
So it's the Dolphins with the first possession, and Bryant with a great jumper from just behind the free throw line. So an early 2 points for Bryant. As the Phoenix finds Bishop, just easily finds a way around. Pryor puts it up two for her own.
Phoenix doing a great job. Get the ball through four players. Found Bishop in the post, who just turns on that right shoulder for that finish. Perkins from the 45. She looks good early. Both imports for the Dolphins lighting it up in their first attempts.
As Bishop again drives to the basket. Another two for Bishop. She has all the points for the Phoenix.
Strong move by Bryant to get on that left hand, a non-preferred hand, although she's strong with both hands, as you know, took the contact and still had the presence of mind to be in that shooting action rather than passing it out. She'll go to the free throw line to help herself for 2.
So just gets the 1, so the Dolphins with a 6-4 lead, 8:50 to go in this first quarter. We find Nat Hurst with the ball now.
Dolphins going to a 2-3 zone, see if they can disrupt Phoenix early, and they do. They get the steal. Jade Kennedy with the hands, finds Myra Donkin, who looked to attack early. Rachel Pryor with a strong left-hand burrow into the right under the bucket. She couldn't get the 2 points to count. It'll be a deflection out of bounds, Dolphins ball. Rachel Pryor, of course, with her one mind on this game and one mind on her partner, Damon Hire, in the New Zealand League, playing in the quarterfinals right now. I even have the game in the corner here, Gav, just checking it.
And a score update from across the ditch.
New Zealand quarterfinals. Looks like the Giants are 41. That'll be the Nelson Giants with Damon Hire, and the Sutherland Sharks on 51 with Jared Weeks.
A couple of ex-Taipans players going up against each other in the quarterfinals over there. Great to see.
The shot from Kennedy, the 3-point was long. Ended up being a jump ball situation, possession arrow to Phoenix. Scores tied at 6-6. Both teams looking pretty active early, Gav. Really trying to get to that rack, really trying to put some heat on the rim.
And as we said, Phoenix played in Townsville last night, so a bit of extra momentum for the Dolphins. Try and get the Phoenix tired out a little bit early.
Energy levels are still up. They're high, though, for the Phoenix, so that's been impressive. As Myra Donkin, equally impressive, drains the 3. It's always a good feeling when the first couple of threes, long-range shots go down for your side. The tails are up. Hurst from the 45. She likes to drain a triple and gives the one-finger nod to Abby Bishop for the feed.
So 9-all with 7 minutes to go in this first quarter. As Pryor drives. I think a bit of a frustration foul there for Pryor.
Just got to watch the fouls. This will be an important game for her to stay in check and not get too many early fouls and force Coach Williams to go to the bench. The pass from Brown to Bishop was gathered, but it was Abby Bishop did step out of bounds. They're getting some good movement though, the Phoenix. I like what they're looking for. They're looking for the right things. Tough make, Gav. Donkin hard on to the rack. She drew the contact. Nice little right hook. Got a little bounce and a friendly tumble. Going to the charity stripe to reward herself with the and one. Great play.
Doesn't fall for her, but Donkin arrived here tonight about 5:10 after finishing work. So she's had a big day at work, but still got the energizing momentum to find a way to the basket there.
I think it's taking out all the frustration from work. That's what makes her so good, so effective. Kennedy to do the point guard duties for the Dolphins. She'll set up Perkins on the 45. Nice little hesitation. Could have been fouled from behind by Wallace, but there's no call there. Hurst from a long way out, can't get that to connect. Great pass, Donkin to Bryant, running in transition. You want those easy buckets, Gav. Phoenix down the other end, just as quick. The 2 points to Wallace.
Blink and you miss it, Lowes. 13 points to 11, 5 minutes 30 to go. As Bryant this time stops, props, and puts up a beautiful J. 15 to 11, extending that lead out to 4 points.
It's a picture perfect, right to left, hesitation, crossover, Gav. Pulls up, elevates so high. Jade Kennedy double teaming Abby Bishop in the post, who was guarded by Pryor. Just dropped the hammer a little bit too much, put the salad tongs in there, as Cam Tregar would say, and just picked up a foul. In those double team situations, you can just form a wall, just close it in tight. Don't need to draw make the foul or the contact. You can still frustrate the offensive player. Dolphins just getting a few fouls on their bigs, so just got to be careful of that from the Dolphins.
Yeah, as they've called the timeout there, the Phoenix, but I was just watching the Dolphins huddle and assistant coach Tubes. He was actually just doing that, hands up, keep your hands up, guys, and keep your hands out of the cookie jar, so to speak.
Well, obviously they're getting the ball to Abby Bishop, who's finding players on the weak side. How can we disrupt that is what Kerry Williams is saying. Let's go double team them. Now the Phoenix are going to talk about, okay, this is what we're going to do now that they're double teaming, and we're going to try and exploit the Dolphins players being out of position.
It's certainly been a pretty fast game so far, 15 points to 11 in the first 5 minutes. Potential for a very high scoring game and maybe another 100-point game for the girls.
Hey, a great way to finish the season here at CBI at the Fish Tank. A couple of 100-point games is exciting for the fans, so it's exciting basketball right now.
It's going to be a Phoenix ball from the base here, and it looks like the Dolphins are setting up in a zone. And an easy two there for Brown.
Nice little play for Phoenix, just the give and go, pass from the baseline, quick run inbounds. She shoots that nice J from the short corner. LJ with great positioning, unlucky not to get a foul. Bishop really dropped the hammer on her, a bit of a veteran call perhaps. Abby Bishop says, I'll take it all the way down. Pass out to Brown. Nice three-pointer from the 45. Phoenix wasting no time. Jade Kennedy called for the 3-second call. She's looking a bit perplexed at that, saying maybe that was a bit of a rush, 3 seconds in the keyway. Phoenix will come up with the possession. Hurst is steady now to attack the zone. Going through Berry, through Brown. Phoenix exploiting the perimeter now. Brown, nice little turn on the right shoulder. Just floats in that fadeaway, gets the 2 to drop. And the Phoenix are up by 3.
LJ again backs down on Bishop. This time she gets it to drop. 17-18, just a 1-point ball game.
Abby Bishop, LJ Williams is getting great position on Abby Bishop in the keyway. The Dolphins having the presence of mind to find her twice. They'll keep going back to the well on that. See if they get her another easy 2.
This time Donkin needs to drive. Bishop pulls down a big rebound. Great outlet pass. Ball goes behind Hutchinson there. Picked up by Bryant. The Dolphins end up with the ball. Good hustle there by the Dolphins. It's LJ again. Backs down on Bishop. This time Bishop's been called for a foul. So this will send LJ to the line for 2.
Great job by Dolphins to go back, straight back. Second one, she was able to get it to go. This time she's drawn the foul. LJ, great job just getting deep into the paint. Forcing the foul. She'll help herself to 2.
She makes the second to tie the game up at 18-all. 3 minutes to go in this first quarter. The Dolphins still setting themselves in the zone that worked very well for them last week as well. And this time Williams has been called.
Phoenix will take it from the baseline now.
So Hurst to Bishop. Finds Brown. This time she misses. So Kennedy this time driving. Puts up the shot, doesn't drop for her. And Hurst is out on the Lightning. Easy 2 points for Hurst on that fast break. 20 points to 18. The Phoenix in front, 2 minutes 15 to go in this first quarter. Hutchins puts up an easy 2 for her. Bishop now finds Brown again, puts up another 3. She's missed again. Bryant comes down with the rebound this time. Bryant probing, finds Williams.
Done that. Couldn't get the right hand hook. A scoop shot to go. Hurst will steady now for Phoenix. 1 minute 40 left in the first term. Scores tied, 20 apiece.
As Hutchinson comes down with the rebound now.
Dear Bryant just steady now, calls for the on ball from LJ. She goes the right to left cross. Gets her own rebound back on the right hand. Abby Bishop pulls it in. And
Hurst now settling it down for the Phoenix. As Baker's been called on the foul on Bishop. So Hurst now finds Clancy. Doesn't drop, but Bishop with the rebound. Doesn't fall for her. This time Pryor's got the rebound for the Dolphins. Hutchison across to Perkins. They find Baker. Kennedy shoots her 3. That doesn't fall for her, and Clancy comes up with the rebound for the Phoenix. Hurst now with the ball again, finds Bishop, looking to spin. Unfortunately, that's a foul on Kennedy.
It's a nice cut. Nice cut by Brown on the baseline there. Abby Bishop just finds her. Diving to the bucket, drew the contact, Abby Bishop swamped by 3 Dolphins. Brown just getting in deep in the keyway there. She'll help herself. It's 2 from the line. Courtney Brown 0 from 2. Perkins will bring it down the last 15 seconds of the first term. They'll use up the shot clock here, reverse the ball a few times. Or not, Gav.
Or Perkins might put up an early 3. Hurst now.
Clancy.
Yep. That one doesn't go down for them as well. So at quarter time, 20 points apiece, Dolphins and the Phoenix. Interesting first quarter and started off like an absolute rocket, but they slowed down a little bit in the second half of that first quarter, but certainly entertaining basketball here from the women tonight.
I was anticipating a bit of shot clock management there in the first quarter there, Gav. I thought Perkins was just going to use up that extra 8 seconds to not allow Phoenix an extra shot at the end of the term. But we're locked up, 20 points apiece. Exciting match. It certainly had a lot of speed to it. Let's see if the Phoenix can actually maintain that pace for the rest of the game after coming off that loss last night in Townsville. But for the Dolphins, real positive signs across the board. A lot of players checked into the game. Coach Williams turning over a lot of players and a lot of players getting their eye in as well. India Bryant was solid in the first quarter. Really saw the Dolphins go to LJ Williams in the keyway there to really establish that second half of that first quarter, and it paid off. There was a foul call on Bishop. She got a few 2 points to go. I'd like to see them use that a bit. Rachel Pryor got a few fouls early, but she checked back into the game late and still finished the quarter on the 1 foul. So positive signs for the Dolphins. For the Phoenix, I thought Hurst did a great job just keeping the team settled, but taking the shots that needed to be taken. Abby Bishop even going coast to coast on several occasions. She's not afraid to handle the ball. But they just had a lot of good ball distribution from Phoenix, even when the Dolphins collapsed 2-3 zone and even double team the players in the post. They still found shots on the rim and even go to the free throw line. So positive signs for both teams, Gav. Scores tied up. It's an exciting contest.
Yeah, Bryant leading scorer for the Dolphins on 7, and also Amy Brown for the Phoenix also with 7. So both teams have got that one player that's out to 7 already, but then the rest of the scoring's been spread. As we see Hurst now with the ball for the Phoenix. This time it's Clancy who drives to the basket.
Big bucket, Gav. Took the contact, the and 1 play. Phoenix only traveling with 8, obviously. They've used all the plays. Clancy, big bucket off the bench. She's going to help herself to the and 1, but that's the kind of thing you need, those contributions across the board, especially when you got the doubleheader.
So it's a 23 to 20 point lead. As we see now, the Phoenix is setting up in a zone. Perkins now finds Moki. She puts up a 2. 22-23. Phoenix with that 1 point lead.
She's got that veteran touch on the right shoulder. Nice little fade away. Great shot for her to start, to open up the account. Berry got rejected by the Dolphins. Perkins looking for Pryor in the post. It was knocked away by Courtney Brown. Great defense there by the Phoenix. Dolphins will take it from the baseline here, Gav.
Yeah, Brown actually picked up a foul on that one. As Perkins puts up another 3, and that drops for her. She's feeling it from range tonight.
And she's got sweet touch as well. See that backspin on the ball, and each one of her triples, she's got perfect hand position when she launches that 3 ball.
This time Courtney Brown misses that three. And at the moment, the Dolphins are up by 2, 25-23. 8:30 to go in this first quarter. Perkins goes again. Nothing but net on that one.
From the exact same spot. Check that floorboard there, Gav. She's certainly hot from there.
I think it's got a mark on it already. She'll be back there again on the next trip down. So Bishop's pass to Courtney Brown. Drops out of court, and substitutions for the Phoenix. So the Phoenix back to their starting five. This time Donkin's faced off with Hurst. And as we said,
check it, Gav. That's a heat check right there. And we're good. 3 for 3 from Perkins from the exact same spot on the floor. Phoenix will have to make the adjustment from here.
Bishop bobbles that pass. She finds Wallace, and unfortunately she gets bailed out with a foul there, so she'll go to the line to shoot two. 31-23, 7 minutes 30 to go in this second quarter.
Phoenix doing a great job just to gather that loose ball that was deflected through sets of hands. Abby Bishop pulled it up on the free throw line there. She found Wallace under the bucket again. Just that nice little high-low touch pass. The second one drops for Wallace. Dolphins enjoying a little 7-point buffer on the back of Perkins' 3 triples. She goes again from the seam. Could have been fouled on the shot. Hurst and Donkin jostle for it. It's an out of bounds off Hurst. So it'll be a Dolphins ball. Get to reload again.
And just looking at the referees here, and Perkins has just been given a flop warning after that shot.
Trying to sell the foul maybe a bit too much.
As Pryor now barges away through the keyway, gets those two to drop. Dolphins are certainly putting it to the Phoenix here at the moment. 33-24, 7 minutes to go in this second quarter.
Very aggressive left hand. Nice little scoop hook from Pryor to get that 2-point bucket. As you see, an offensive board by Phoenix. Hurst just trying to muscle her way through the keyway there. So foul going to be on Donkin. 3 team fouls for the Dolphins. It'll be a baseline ball. A sideline ball, sorry.
So Brown finds Hurst, back to Brown.
They go around the horn, back to Brown. Great D by Moki just to be straight up and down. Forces the shot clock violation. Great defense by the Dolphins.
So we find Perkins in her favourite spot, but this time she's got someone on her as Rachel Pryor cuts through the keyway, puts up a beautiful 2 points. 35-24, 6:14 to go.
Just a brilliant backdoor cut. As we see Perkins on the steal. Nice little left-hand finish. Dolphins really enjoying the momentum now. Commanding 13-point lead. Forces a timeout by the Phoenix to chat about where it's all going wrong.
Yes, it certainly has fallen apart for him a little bit here in this second quarter. As you see Perkins here on the replay, anticipated that pass, and great fast break. Finishes on her left hand. Easy 2 for the layup. Dolphins have outscored the Phoenix 15-4 here in this, 17-4 in this second quarter. it certainly has been a great effort on both ends of the floor from the Dolphins.
The energy's been there, and I think they're trying to capitalise on perhaps, you know, the double header of the Phoenix. So Phoenix are just taking a moment just to recalibrate. Let's get back to making good leads. That last steal, there was no lead. It was just trying to stand in position and make the catch. You've got to set up your lead, get open, make the right reads. Let's get the balls through sets of hands and go with what was working earlier on. We found Bishop in the post early. We know what we're doing now when the double team comes. The coach is just trying to settle the Phoenix down and get into that rhythm again.
So Brown finds Saunders, who finds Bishop. Her pass is tapped out by the Dolphins, so it's going to be a baseline ball for the Phoenix. It's Brown now to Saunders. He puts those two, an offensive there, rebound, as she pushes off Moki. Hurst left open on the three-point line, and when she's got that much room, she's not going to miss from there.
There's better player movement on those last few possessions by the Phoenix. They came up with the offensive board. They're the hustle plays that Coach Jones really wants them to continue on. As Rachel Pryor goes to work again. Nice little step through. She went left. She stepped through to the right hand. Great finish by Pryor. She's hit a couple now. She's getting going.
So that's 6 points now for Pryor. Behind Bryant on 7 and Perkins on 14 points. As Brown is not getting her shots to drop at the moment. And this time we've got Donkin on the fast break. She pulls it out. This time it's Moki. Cuts, but her pass is intercepted. And Bishop ends up with that steal. Bishop puts up her own three. Doesn't fall for her. As Bryant now pulls up at the free throw line and doesn't quite get the home court roll on that one, dropping for her. And Bishop ends up with that rebound.
She had open players on the wing. Perkins begging for it from a sweet spot on the 45.
Saunders shoots for two. Nobody boxing out on Brown. She picks up the offensive board. This time it's Wallace who puts up the two, and she does get the friendly roll, and that one drops 29 to 39. 4 minutes to go in this second quarter. As Perkins drops another two, she's having a blinder of a night. 16 points for Perkins already.
There's a sweet little jab step to the middle. Got a defender to bite on it. She drove hard on that left hand, and then a nice little step back.
Saunders there looking for her own rebound, and Perkins on that spot in the floor again. I think it's worn out, Lowes. I think it's worn out.
We're getting new flooring on court 5. Might need to have a bit of that extra floorboards for court 1 here, Gav.
She's burnt a hole in that spot. Perkins is now up to 19 points.
Bishop decides to take matters into her own hands off the post there. She's drawn the foul on Pryor, who will possibly sit down now with a couple of fouls to her name. She's got 2 fouls to her name now, Gav. Coach Williams will be happy with the lead. Abby Bishop just doing a great job, just getting tangled up a bit with Pryor.
So as Bishop makes the second, it's 30 points to 44. The Dolphins enjoying that 14-point buffer. 3 minutes 10 to go in this first half. This time it's Kennedy finds the cutting Perkins, but she left it behind.
Great D by Hurst, just wore her like a glove. Hurst in the break now to Brown. Perkins with the steal, they've gone to the floor. Hurst all over the action again. possession arrow to the Dolphins.
Just great hustle from both teams. Just both teams fighting for the ball at every opportunity.
Hurst is just trying to will her teammates into a higher energy level. She can sense the 14-point deficit. She's all over all over at this end of the floor, the defensive end, then finds herself fighting for that loose ball.
As Bryant
off the side of the backboard there. Clancy thought she had the runaway. Just lost the ball a bit and was out of bounds. Dolphins will reset.
So as Kennedy finds Williams backing down Bishop, and that's off Bishop over the baseline. 2 seconds on the shot clock.
They might not be aware that they've got to get it off quick.
As that one doesn't hit the rim, so it's a shot clock violation for the Dolphins, and the Phoenix are going to get the ball from the baseline. So Clancy at the top of the key finds Saunders. Saunders drives, gives it to Bishop. Bishop with LJ, spins and weaves, puts up the shot, and that drops for her.
Tough move by Bishop. Still had presence of mind to knock it down. Cut the deficit to 12 now. Kennedy is exploring back to Hutchinson, who drives on that left. Nice little step back. And that's a handy 2 points just to keep the lead at 14 for the Dolphins.
As Hurst passes back to Bishop, finds a cutting Saunders who misses. Back to Clancy. Hurst with a 3-point shot. Doesn't drop for her either. As Bryant now goes exploring. Back out to Kennedy, to Hutchinson. As Perkins tries again from another spot. And she's just dropping those threes from anywhere tonight, Lowes.
That's 5 for Perkins. She is on fire. She's in fuego. The next shot that she even gets a slight glimpse, you know it's going straight up, but she's definitely feeling it tonight.
So she's already up to 22 points, and she's got 50 seconds to go in this first half. As you see, Bryant spin doesn't fall for her. As Saunders brings it up for the Phoenix. Cross to Bishop. And Bishop's been fouled by LJ Williams. It's going to send Bishop to the line to shoot 2.
Well, she got the hands on the ball, so she deflected the shot, but she got the foul and the body contact. Send Bishop to the line for 2. She's tried to raise the arms up straight, LJ, to say, oh, it's clean, it's clean. Definitely drew the body contact.
So Bishop cuts the deficit down to 15, 35 seconds to go in this first half. Perkins to Kennedy to Hutchinson. Loses the handle on it, back to Perkins. And she's missed one finally. This time the outlet pass finds Wallace. Back to Hurst.
Hurst is going to slow it down for one shot. Calls out Bishop for the on ball. Just switches the screen. Back to Bishop. Nice little play underneath. Clancy's got to let it go. Great job, Jade Kennedy, to come up with the steal. They couldn't get the shot that they wanted to finish the half, Gav. But Phoenix have got to go to the locker room and talk about it.
Yeah, so we finish here at halftime at Early Settler Stadium. The Kent Frost Holmes Dolphins leading 49-35. Certainly an excellent first half from the Dolphins on both ends of the court.
And it was led by Perkins, who just could not miss from beyond the arc. Hit 4 triples from the same spot. on her favoured side on the 45. Even hit one just at the top of the key there. There's the difference in the game there, Gav, and Phoenix are going to have some answers for Perkins come the second half if they're going to cut this deficit down a bit.
Yeah, 6 from 9 from three-point land. That's certainly some very impressive shooting from Perkins tonight. While for the Phoenix, Bishop high score with 9 points, followed by Nat Hurst. And Brown, she couldn't put any more points after her first quarter, stuck on 7. So they've got some work to do.
Yeah, look, Bishop's their centre. They're going to find her to distribute out to the weak side. The Dolphins made the change-up of double teaming, going to the zone, doing anything they can to disrupt the star of Phoenix in Bishop. So great job by Kerry Williams to do that. Where Phoenix have let themselves down a little bit is just a bit of sloppy play, not making the right leads to go and get the ball. They've just perhaps had a bit of tired legs, but they'll look at that and say, look, there's no excuses here, girls. If we're going to be playoff contenders and championship contenders, we need to take care of that in a second game of a doubleheader. So they'll bounce back, but the energy levels of the Dolphins is what was exciting to see, and just rising to the occasion and just putting the foot down and extending the lead to a commanding 15-point lead. So Dolphins are going to definitely go into the locker room and say, look, let's not let up here. Let's not let up. We've got to come out with just as much energy. Phoenix have got a job to do. I'm expecting a lot of fire as they come out of the locker room in the second half.
Yes, and we'll take a short break here from Early Settler Stadium, and we'll be back with the second half in about 5 minutes. And welcome back to Early Settlers Stadium, where we've seen an exciting first half of women's basketball. The Ken Frost Holmes Dolphins with a lead of 15 points, 49-34 over the visiting Phoenix, who played in Townsville last night. It's been a great game so far, Alex.
Yeah, absolutely, and we're on track for a second 100-point game for the Dolphins. Two in a row would be nice. It's definitely been a high-energy game. 20 apiece at quarter time. Phoenix just losing a bit of steam, but credit to the Dolphins just keeping the pressure on, and Perkins, what a game she's had, lighting it up from three. Hit 3 in a row, then hit 5 for pretty much in a small space of time, which she's 6 for 9 at the moment. Just leading the way and just putting a huge break in between Dolphins and Phoenix to give them that 15-point lead. So Phoenix are, just trying to find answers. They got to guard Perkins this this half if they're going to get close to a W and split the weekend. They obviously played last night down in Townsville. Lots of work to do, and they'll be coming out fired up and ready to go.
Yeah, they certainly will be, and hopefully there's another scorch mark down the other end of the floor that Perkins can continue with that hot form that she had in the first half and continue to light it up from three-point range, keep these Dolphins in front. Bishop and Hurst, obviously the two that lead this Phoenix team, 9 points and 8 points apiece. Both played considerable minutes. Bishop hasn't seen any bench time. Nat Hurst has only seen a couple of minutes just to refresh those legs. She's certainly had a lot of work to do guarding Perkins and also Donkin as part of that rotation. Yeah,
look, and they've used their bench as well. They're only travelling with 8, but I thought Clancy came in and gave them some great minutes for the Phoenix, just taking that pressure off some of the more senior players. But they've really got to make a move early and don't let this deficit get any more than what it is. They've got to cut it to obviously 10 and under, break it down into small chunks, but they can't let up. They fancy themselves a great playoff team. They want to finish high on the ladder. Dolphins don't have a chance of making the playoffs, as you mentioned earlier, Gav, but they can spoil the Phoenix's night. They can push them back to a lower seed come playoffs time, and it's a hard road from there. They want to prove tonight they can split a tough weekend away on the trot and really go into the finals with momentum. And they know they're better than this right now. The Phoenix know that they're a lot better than a 15-point deficit, and they can cut it back. And we'll see what Coach Jones has for them when they step out onto the floor. Coach Williams, now his challenge is to not let up. He's going to be pushing the girls, pushing the Dolphins to say, we're finishing this thing on a high. Keep fighting. Keep doing what you're doing because it's working. No one is going to relax here. Keep the ball moving through hands and keep attacking where you see fit. Perkins, great job on the threes. That's what he's telling them. Absolutely. And as we mentioned before the game, it's back to front to what we are used to, and the Phoenix are going to finish with their offense in front of their bench. So we'll see whether or not that has actually had any difference. So there was some rulebook consultation. Is that correct, Yav? I believe there was some rulebook consultation prior to the game. And so what have you picked up on reading the dusty pages of the QBL handbook? Well, the second-hand information that I was given was the home team gets to choose the bench. Okay. And the away team gets to choose which direction they shoot. Okay. So here we go for the second half, and so you can't finish in front of your bench. So Phoenix have opted to finish the game in front of their bench. And we'll see whether or not that's a positive move for them. As we find Bishop now attacking. Her pass is almost cut off, and it's come off Kennedy. That's a Phoenix ball. It's only 8 seconds left on the shot clock in this first possession. As Saunders puts up a long three, and that finds the baseline, nothing else. So it's the Dolphins now with their first shot in the second half. It's not a confidence-boosting start for the Phoenix. Big air ball off the mark as Rachel Pryor in the post. She'll look to attack. Nice little jab step baseline. She drove to the middle, a step through again back to the left. Great move by Rachel Pryor.
As Brown finds a way to lose her defender in Bryant. Unfortunately, the shot doesn't drop. This time, Bishop around Kennedy. Gets those two to drop. So it's 51-36. Still that 15-point margin the Dolphins are enjoying. As Bryant spins, puts up a hard two, doesn't fall for her. As Hurst brings the ball away for the Phoenix. Hurst is not afraid to shoot from beyond the arc. Doesn't drop for her, and this time Perkins is going to bring it up. Let's see if she can find that hot spot.
It's a quick shot by Hurst. I'd almost like to see the Phoenix be really super disciplined, especially to start this first quarter if they're going to cut into this deficit. Hurst with a nice steal, the cross-court pass from Kennedy. Abby Bishop likes her height advantage on Myra Donkin. She's dribbled to the free throw line. Myra Donkin can't believe there was the foul called. Bishop just got it with the up and under, Gav. Shot fake from the three-point line, drove to the middle, up and under scoop with the right hand. Perhaps just collected the body of Donkin. Bishop definitely sold it well.
Gets one from two. So now 11 fouls on the Dolphins to only 4 on the Phoenix. As Perkins this time is shut down from the three-point line. Kicks it back out to Kennedy, who puts up her own three. Doesn't fall for her.
Phoenix definitely up and in more on Perkins now, as would have been the talk in the locker room at halftime.
As Wallace puts that one in over the top of Perkins. 39-51, it's down to 12 points, that lead.
Wallace doing it at both ends of the floor. She was up and in Perkins at one end, and then she puts a lid on that two down the other. Bryant finds herself down the lane of the keyway, just couldn't get the easy layup to go. Hurst is steady now for Phoenix. Probing, Bishop into the keyway. The shot was deterred by Bryant. Perkins likes that spot on the floor from three, but even better spot is Rachel Pryor underneath. Couldn't get the foul. Coach Williams is asking the question of the refs. Pryor can't believe it, and the Dolphins will get the ball from the baseline.
So this time it's Kennedy back to Donkin. She puts up her own three. That doesn't fall. As the ball dribbles out over the baseline, the Phoenix are going to have the inbound pass from the base. So just 2 points so far for the Dolphins this quarter. As the lead's down to 12, Saunders finds Brown. And this time Brown finds it from the corner.
That brings it to 10. The timeout called by Coach Williams is not happy that they've fought back another 5 points. And he'll chat to the Dolphins about where it's going wrong. Phoenix is doing a great job finding the extra pass. A deep three by Brown in the corner. Rhythm and range. Gav, when you catch the ball in rhythm and range, you're expected to shoot that. And Brown did a great job just to knock that down and bring her team closer to cutting it to 10.
So Brown up to 10 points after that three in the corner. As I said, just down to a 9-point lead now. Phoenix have done a great job in the first 3.5 minutes of this third quarter to fight back. They've been active on the defensive end, got the Dolphins out of rhythm a little bit, but they've been able to get up their own shots.
There's been some just layups going begging for the Dolphins. A couple of perhaps some easy buckets that they've just squashed those opportunities. So the just need to take just a second and just make sure of those easy buckets. You can't expect to be late in the game in a good position if you allow too many of those missed shots to go wayward. Phoenix doing a great job just deterring some of those easy looks too.
So Kennedy finds Bryant to Pryor to Donkin. Back into Pryor. Kennedy cuts through the keyway, and she's been fouled going to the basket. So she'll go to the line to shoot two. There's good rotation there from the girls. They certainly got it through hands and the cut by Kennedy to finish off that play to get the foul. Awesome effort.
And they've played together for so long, Gav. Kennedy and Pryor, good friends off the court, even greater teammates on the floor, finding each other for the sort of a wraparound scoop pass by Pryor. She just had a sense where Kennedy was, and she had the presence of mind to draw that contact.
So back out to 11 points now, 53-42. Tick over, 6 minutes to go in this third quarter. Saunders now finds Hurst. She has Bryan on her in the corner. Can't find an outlet. Saunders eventually gives her one. And this time it's Bishop who had to put up a rush three as 1 second left on the shot clock.
Zone defense working for the Dolphins on that possession. Rachel Pryor now in the post, finds Perkins on the top of the keyway. That shot couldn't go.
Saunders there with a great hesitation, gets the two Dolphin defenders off their feet and puts in the easy two.
Did a great job cutting behind the vision of Perkins just to find herself in an easy position for a score. Pryor going hard to the rack with the left hand. Abby Bishop drops the hammer just to make sure that Pryor didn't finish that 2 points off easy and make her earn it the hard way.
So Pryor will go to the line to shoot two.
Pryor obviously having to concentrate on the game here, Gav, but her partner Damon High over in New Zealand in the Final Four. It's a championship weekend for the New Zealand League. She won't be happy though that Damon High and Coach Jamie Perlman's team, they're actually down by 10 with 4 minutes to play in the quarterfinal over the New Zealand League. So Rachel Pryor even takes a rest after those free throws. Dolphins now back in the zone.
So Clancy probing, and again another intercept by Perkins. Great steal, finishes with the left, an easy two for her. Back out to 11 points, 55-44, with 4 minutes 50 to go in this third quarter. There's excellent anticipation there from Perkins, just gets the hand in the lane. We find Hurst now probing, gets it to Brown, who runs into LJ, but unfortunately Williams has been called for the foul.
Yeah, LJ kind of stepped up into the line of path of Brown. Probably just came across a bit too far, drew the contact. She just had to stand back maybe with the hands up. And now Kennedy has dropped the hammer,
and that's 3 on Kennedy. So she will take a seat as Naomi Moki comes in to replace her. So Amy Brown up to 12 points with those two. Cuts the margin back to 9 again, 55-46 with 4 minutes 30 to go in this third quarter. It's Perkins to Williams. Finds Bryant. Williams cutting through. Great 2 points for Williams.
It's a great screen and roll by Williams. Nice little over the top pass from Perkins. as Abby Bishop lights it up from 3, often a Hurst assist.
Certainly had a lot of room to put that one up, lined it up, took her time, nothing but net. As Bryant now, she drains 2 as we see Amy Brown down for the Phoenix, being helped up by her teammates.
Nearly took the charge call. Indeed, Bryant stopped on a dime and still elevated to sink the 2 points. Maybe Brown tripped. Could have collected a foot of one of the bigs, setting that on ball, but she's hit the deck hard, Gav. She's going to shrug it off.
As Hurst now finds Clancy in the corner. And that one's missed everything, come off the Phoenix, and it's going to be a Dolphins ball from the baseline. So Moki bringing the ball up now. As we see Chelsea Oxlade on the court for her first minutes tonight. As Bishop dispossesses Williams, back to Hurst, and she tries her hand from 3-point land, and that one's got all the air that she wanted.
She didn't really want that one to do those things there, Gav, but they're taking those opportunities because they need to. Down by 10. As soon as that open shot presents itself, they're going to take that. They're not going to die wondering. Bryant tries a little left to right crossover, just collects the foot of Brown, and that'll go sailing out of bounds. Dolphins to inbound from the baseline.
So inbounds to Bryant, who puts up the early shot. Doesn't fall for her as Hurst comes down the court with the ball now for the Phoenix. Cross court to Bishop as she puts up a 3. It doesn't drop for her as Moki ends up with a long rebound. So Bryant pushes the ball into Williams, and Bishops has been called for a foul here when she has an absolutely surprising look on her face.
She didn't. Bishop didn't need to, reach around and try and claw in to get that steal. Like, she's on 2 fouls. She's got to be careful. She doesn't want to certainly pick up another one. 3 fouls will make the coach just question whether she's got to get her a quick sub.
As Hurst now picks up her dribble, tries to find Bishop, and that's been stolen by Pryor. She goes all the way to the line, and she's been fouled by Amy Brown. She's going to go to the line for another 2.
And Pryor just read that back cut by Bishop beautifully, collected the steal and went coast to coast, a little Euro step left to right. On the left hand here, a little Euro, so she goes from the left to the right hand scoop. And Brown had no option but to just foul and make sure she doesn't make the easy layup.
As Pryor makes that first one, we also see that her partner's team is back within 5 points. Over on the other side of the ditch, 87-92 over there. But here at 61-49, Dolphins still with a double-digit lead. As Hurst now finds Bishop, cutting Saunders, back to Hurst, and she's going to put up the 3, and that drops for her.
And that one looks better for Hurst. Feet set, nice little backspin on that ball. She'll get confidence out of that one for the next shot. Hutchinson back to Kennedy, who had great position, nice high-low feed from the 2 friends. Kennedy, a little right shimmy back to the middle of the floor. As we see here, Pryor finding a teammate. Kennedy, little fake to the right. Step through to the middle, draws the contact. High percentage free throw shooter is Kennedy. She won't miss too many of these.
As Laus puts the commentator's curse on Kennedy. We've got just under 2 minutes to play here in this third quarter. 62-52. It's a 10-point lead to the Dolphins.
She'll hit the next 7, don't worry.
As Bishop goes to back down, Perkins, who's copped one in the nose,
Bishop,
and she's a bit slow getting up off the court, but she's going to walk that one off as well.
Bishop's going to kind of take on a couple players who came in for the double team and just kind of flail the arms. I know that feeling when you're trying to break through a couple players, the arms just kind of collect a chin or a mouth. Kennedy returning the favor now. Both teams getting a bit feisty. Tensions are rising. Here, Gav, you can see the arms are flailing a little more.
This time the foul's been called on Berry. That's her first foul. Pryor makes the first, extends the lead back out to 11. That one didn't go for her. So we've got Hurst with the ball now. Finds Bishop. Cross court pass to Hurst. Finds Bishop in the middle. And she's been blocked by Kennedy. This time it's Perkins. Finds Donkin. Into Pryor with an easy 2. And Pryor's ended up on the floor.
Bishop's come through after the play and just sent Pryor sprawling to the ground. Bishop's got a smile on her face, but so does Pryor, Gal. I don't know. So the 2 points will count.
No replay.
The 2 points will count and the Dolphins will get a possession again.
Referees disconferring with the score bench of what's actually been called. Just both teams just in a huddle, working out what actually went on.
So, and after the play foul on Bishop, will give her 4th. She's got to be careful now in the 3rd quarter. Donkin hard on the left hand, couldn't get the 2-pointer to go.
Bishop now with a long pass to Clancy, who finds Hurst, puts up the 3. This time it's Perkins with the rebound.
They got numbers now, the Dolphins. Nice play, Donkin to Hutchinson for the easy 2.
So 30 seconds to go in this 3rd quarter. It's back out to a 15-point lead, 67-52. Dolphins have come back hard in the second half of this 3rd quarter. As that pass from Bishop goes astray, it's going to be a Dolphins ball with 18 seconds to go. See Coach Williams calling to slow down the play, use up the clock.
Get some time management this time, Gav. Don't launch the ball with 8 seconds left is what, or do that. Phoenix, great job getting a steal, get another chance. Hurst strong to the rack, just floats for that extra second to get that, to be sure of that 2 points.
So as we finish the 3rd quarter here at Early Solar Stadium, the Ken Frost Homes Dolphins 67 lead the Sunshine Coast Phoenix 54. It's been an awesome game by both teams here, but the Dolphins have just been able to keep their noses in front, Lows.
The Phoenix challenged them that quarter. They got to 9 points. I thought Phoenix were going to just keep chipping away. Dolphins did a great job just to take the hits and still finish and take the most of the opportunities in transition. They got a few steals that quarter, which was really handy to keep that lead in check.
Yeah, Perkins had 22 points in the first half. They certainly tightened up on her in that third quarter, and she only scored 2 to take her tally to 24. But Pryor's been able to help out, filling the void. She's got 13 points. But for the Phoenix, Bishop 15, Amy Brown 12, and Nat Hurst with 11. They've done well to back up from last night and to keep their scoring going.
Yeah, and Wallace was given the assignment of Perkins for this quarter, and so she's done a good job, even helping herself to a few points out the offensive end. But Wallace certainly able to tighten put the clamps on Perkins. But as you said, the Dolphins have found a way. Is Pryor to Kennedy for the easy 2. Pryor solo, just going to the middle of the key, just turning on that shoulder and getting more aggressive. Bishop had a few ill-disciplined fouls that quarter. She'll go into this fourth quarter, you know, on wood. If she gets one more foul, she's going to be riding the pine. Phoenix will start out in a 2-3 zone here, Gav. But Phoenix is going to have to find some answers here if they think they're going to go deep into the playoffs. And we'll see what happens.
So it's Donkin now for the Dolphins. Gets Perkins across to Kennedy. Finds Bryant. Back to Donkin. To Pryor. A little bobble there from Donkin.
Perkins pleading for it from the 45. Thought she could have even launched that one, Gav.
There's Hurst at the other end now. Sets up Brown. They find Wallace to Bishop. And Bishop's been dispossessed by Kennedy. But that's come off Kennedy, so it's going to be a baseline ball to the Phoenix. 11 seconds left on their shot clock.
It was the right play by Phoenix. They had a high post flash. They found the high low to Bishop.
As Saunders finds Hurst. Hurst back to her. She puts up a tough 2 over the top of Kennedy. That drops for her 56-67, 11 points the margin.
There's a sweet little step back by Hurst on the left hand. Do a lot for the confidence in this fourth quarter here where her team needs to rally.
Perkins on the 45. That one doesn't drop for her. Back to Donkin, who picks up the offensive board. Bryant spinning, finds Perkins again. Donkin in the corner. And another offensive board as Kennedy grabs that rebound.
Coach Williams just calling for the horn set. Dolphins make up their own attack. Pryor with the miss right at the rim, though. It was the right play. They found Pryor inside off that missed shot. Couldn't get it to go.
So with this, see the experience of Hurst and Bishop come to life here. But Hurst couldn't get that one to fall for her. It's going to be Dolphins ball from the baseline. As Donkin now brings it up for the Dolphins. As the Phoenix are in their zone, finds Perkins. Donkin to Kennedy. Doesn't drop. And that's going to be a foul on Pryor.
Just a little bit of second guessing going on now by the Dolphins. Just, is it my turn to shoot? Do we need to use up the shot clock? If you're open and in range, you just got to launch.
As Hurst puts up a long 2. Cut the lead back to 9, 67-58 with 7:40 to go in this this final quarter.
The zone working for Phoenix right now. They've just caused a lot of indecision by the Dolphins. And there's a foul on the three-point shooter. The coach's instruction from the Phoenix is you get into Perkins' face, but maybe not that close, Gav.
As Pryor takes a seat, we see the pass from Bryant. Perkins is open. The Saunders is closing out. She just comes down across the hands and the face. So Perkins is at the line to shoot 3.
So it looks like former Taipans Jared Weeks will move on to the grand final in the New Zealand League, and that puts Coach Jamie Perlman and Damon Heyer in third position and now out of the playoffs, out of the championship. So great job by Perlman and the Nelson Giants. Well, that's the end of the story for them, and Jared Weeks will continue, but Jared Kenny from the Hawks also lost earlier today in the quarterfinals. So I'm sure Coach Kelly will be happy to have him at training soon. But as we see Hurst knock down a big 3.
So we're back to an 8-point margin, 69-61. 7 minutes to go as Perkins finds her hot spot from the other end of the court to take it back out to 11 points. This time it's Brown shooting the 3. Doesn't fall for her. Donkin pushing. Gets all the way to the rim. LJ with the rebound. Doesn't fall for her, and Bishop comes up with a big rebound there for the Phoenix. As we see Bishop attacking Williams. They've both gone down hard.
LJ just losing the vision of Bishop. She's turned around to try and draw the charge for foul, just couldn't quite get the feet there in time.
So with 6:37 to go in this game, final home game of the season for the Kinfrost Dolphins. Still with a comfortable 11-point lead as Kennedy also almost gets an intercept there. But they find Bishop open. She shoots the 2, 63-72. 9 points to lead to the Dolphins with 6:20 to go. Hutchinson finds Perkins, and she's been found by Saunders if she tries to turn the corner. But as you said, Lowes, the zone has certainly put the Dolphins out of their rhythm at the moment.
And they're certainly even up the pressure further. Normally you don't come out past the 3-point line in a zone. Hurst there just getting up and in just to disrupt the Dolphins. So
as Donkin finds 3 to help break down that zone. It's back out to 12 points, 75-63, 5:50 to go in this game. As Bishop triple teamed, leaves an open Saunders who finds an easy 2.
Too tall, just a nice high-low pass for the easy couple. Pryor to Kennedy. Pryor will take it on a left hand.
Just too strong off the glass with that one. Bishop comes down with the boards. Bishop with another double-double, 17 points, 11 rebounds. And that's going to be a foul on Pryor.
Should take it to a 4th foul. 4th personal with 5 minutes left. Coach Williams with a decision to make. Does he bring LJ back into the mix just to save Pryor for those precious remaining minutes of the game?
As Hurst finds Bishop, who puts up another 3. That one's off the front of the rim. And this time it's Donkin on the fast break. Finds Hutchinson, but that doesn't fall for her. And unfortunately, the long rebound couldn't be collected. And that's gone out of bounds. Phoenix ball.
It was a great push by Donkin. Unfortunately, Hutchinson couldn't get it to go for her side. Phoenix still with a chance here. It's 10 points, but the 5 minutes remaining is a long time.
So Brown now probing, finds Bishop, who finds Saunders, who puts down an easy 2 for her. Back to 8 points the margin.
Phoenix doing a lot of work behind the player, the zone, just running players on the baseline, getting to open positions.
As the crowd erupts, thinking that was going to be a Dolphins ball from the baseline, but it's not. The Phoenix have it as the Dolphins now set up in their own zone. And again, Saunders finds a way free. Bishop open on the three-point line, and that goes down for her, and all of a sudden it's a 5-point game, 4:20 to go, and Coach Williams is called for a timeout. He needs to talk to these women and get them to settle a little bit, try and get their game back on track.
Yeah, it's just a little calming of the nerves for the Dolphins girls. He's just saying, guys, we've just got to make the most of these opportunities. Like when we're at the rim, just take a moment to finish. You've probably got more time than you think. Let's not give them anything easy down the other end. Now for the Phoenix, their tails are up, Gav. They're moving the ball well. They've found answers to that zone and got the buckets inside. Now the shots are opening up outside. They've crawled into Perkins' space. She's finding it tough to get her shot off. She hit a deep three from the car park on the 45. But apart from that, it has been tough going for Perkins in the second half. Phoenix certainly just got to make one more push to close out this game.
Yeah, Price sitting on the bench with 13 points at the moment, but Perkins leading the way for the Dolphins with those 29 points. They certainly need the two of those to finish off with some big scoring and hopefully get some support from Brian, who's only got the 9 points so far tonight.
Yeah, well, Phoenix are closing the gap with that zone, but they're back to man now. It's going to be to Perkins on the 45. Great catch by LJ. She got nice hands to be able to reel that pass in. It was had a lot of mustard in it from Perkins. It was a bullet pass.
As Bishop to Saunders, he finds Wallace. Wallace back to Saunders, and Bryant almost with a deflection. 5 seconds left on the shot clock.
There's a shove from behind. I believe Donkin will pick up the foul. Bryant thought she had the ball stolen, and Saunders just had the ability just to recover that ball and then find Wallace in on that short corner.
So Wallace at the line for two, 77-70 with 3:43 to go. She makes the first. And the second, so it's that 5-point game, 77-72, as Hurst up the floor on Donkin.
It's a two-possession game, Gav. Anything can happen from here. The team that holds their nerve makes the right reads.
As Kennedy finds herself under the basket.
Gets called with a 3-second call. Great defense by Wallace to just be able to contain and not just bail her out with a reaching in foul. She got a block and then Kennedy recovered, but was too long in the keyway.
Wallace can't get that one to drop. Perkins with the ball, but she's been dispossessed. Back out to Hurst, who's open from the 3-point line, and that drops. And we have a 2-point ball game, 3 minutes to go, 77-75.
Big hustle possession by Phoenix then, and they didn't just throw it away either with a bad shot.
As Perkins answers from the other end, she's found that hot spot from the other end of the court, and she's back out to a 5-point game, and this time it's Hurst. Drives to the baseline. Perkins thought she was going to shoot, jumps. And she pulls herself up off the floor, Nat Hurst.
Some great minutes by LJ Williams. Got a couple of points on the board, just gave Pryor that extra bit of time just to come back into the game now. 2 minutes 30 with one foul left to give.
So Hurst makes most of those, 80 points to 77. Dolphins in front with 2:30 to go in this game. Bryant now gets the fade to the free throw line. Drops those 2 points as the crowd erupts, 82-77.
She's got the ability to handle the ball just like a seasoned veteran. As you see, Saunders gets called with the travelling. Just tried to step through and find the teammate on the weak side. Just dragged that foot a little bit, Gav. Dolphins will go back to Bryant here. They'll call for a middle, picking a middle on ball. They'll let Bryant go to work. Picks up a dribble, pulls it out to Perkins. The 2 points doesn't go.
As Bishop now down the court, finds her way to the free throw line, gets it to Hurst. Hurst finds some open space, puts up the three, doesn't drop. And Bryant now finds Perkins, who's screaming away to the basket. And she's been fouled as she puts up the shot.
They were quick out of the box, the Dolphins off that rebound. Perkins is running wide. Bryant found her early. Perkins just too fast to the rack.
So you see here the pass across to Perkins, and she's just way too quick. And this time it was Wallace who collects her across the arms. So she makes the first, takes the lead out to 6 points, 83-77. We've got 1:32 to go in this game.
This to take it to a 3-possession game will be huge.
As an offensive rebound there by Kennedy.
Just as huge as an offensive board.
So the Dolphins are going to slow it down here, take some time off the clock as Bryant now spins, and she's grabbed by Saunders. She's
14 fouls. They'll take it from the sideline here. Could have almost been a continuation. It was a nice little spin and a drop.
So the Phoenix have called a timeout here with 1:19 to go. 6 points the margin. They just want to come up with something to get these Dolphins out of the rhythm.
Coach Jones knows how important each possession is down the stretch of these games. If they're going to go deep into the playoffs, time management, foul management, everything comes into play. 1:20 is still a lot of time. A lot of time left in this ball game. A lot can happen. All they need is one disruption for the Phoenix, and then a quality shot down the other end. If they can get that to go, maybe it's a three. Then it's then it's anybody's.
So Bishop 20 points, 13 rebounds. He's done well sitting on those 4 fouls. Hasn't picked up a fifth for quite some time. Been ably assisted by Nat Hurst, 22 points, but also Amy Brown with 15 points. Wallace has chipped in with 9, and Saunders also done well with 8. But then with the Dolphins, 33 points. Robin Perkins, 33 points. What a great night. Final game for her here in Cairns tonight. She had a great season, and she's done well tonight in front of the home crowd.
And she's a great shooter. She's going to leave her mark on this, the women's QBL, as just being a knockdown, go-to kind of a player. In those tough situations, she's shown she can hit the three at such a high rate. Just an asset to have on any squad. Still steady now in the horn set.
So the steal by Bishop brings it back to a 4-point game. Minute to go, 83-79. Bishop can't foul Kennedy. as Donkin has the ball knocked away by Hurst. Donkin pleading for the Dolphins just to settle everything down. So Bryant now with the ball. She'll use up 9 of those 10 seconds, I'm sure. She loses the dribble. Donkin into Pryor, who puts up the shot. Doesn't fall for her. And she's stepped out of court. Ashley Wallace has stepped out of court on the baseline there, and that's going to be a Dolphins ball.
Pryor just caught it in the post here, spins to the middle. Probably had more time just to steady on that shot. And the foot of Wallace has gone on that baseline there.
So with 35 seconds to go, that shot goes up early in the shot clock. So we've got 28 seconds to go. 83-79.
Bishop and Pryor going at it, Gav. Something bad's going to happen here. Here she goes.
So Bishop.
Who's going to hold their nerve? Phoenix.
Brown puts up the long shot. Bishop with the rebound. Wallace puts that one up as Kennedy comes down with it. And a jump ball possession arrow is going to be with the Phoenix.
I thought Kennedy might have actually come up with the ball here, wrestling it out. There's no... Oh, they have called it. That's surprising with that possession arrow. That is surprising on that particular call. They need a 3.
So Hurst puts up that 3. It drops. 3.6 seconds to go. And Coach Williams has called a timeout. 83-81. Dolphins still hold that lead at Early Settler Stadium.
I believe it was at a toe on the line. Oh, there you go. The scores are adjusted now, 83-82. Dolphins don't need to do anything but look after the ball here. They don't have to make the shot. They don't even have to shoot it.
Nothing but net. And yes, definitely 3-point. So the Dolphins, last home game of the season, last game of this season for them. They need to hold the ball for 3.6 seconds to get this win. It's a 1-point game.
Well, they need to get it to the best free throw shooter, Gab, because Phoenix are going to foul with 0.4 seconds of time going off the clock. So you put in your best free throw shooters, and I'd say it's either going to be Donkin or Perkins just to get a catch. Donkin or Perkins have to get a catch and secure this ball when the Dolphins inbound it in here in this half of the court. Because Phoenix will be hot on the hammer and they will foul straight away. Back to Donkin. Foul. Intentional. Shot and a side ball possession.
So Hurst just apologising to a team there. She knew that she probably took that one a little bit far to give the possession back to the Dolphins as well. So Donkin's going to go to the line to shoot, but the Dolphins will also get the ball back. Donkin misses that first one. Makes the second. So it's a 2-point ball game. Kent Frost home Dolphins still leading. But side ball to the Dolphins. So again they find Donkin. And that's going to be 5th foul on Aberwick Bishop. She's going to take a seat for the final half a second of this game. Donkin's going to go to the line again to shoot another 2. and hopefully put the lid on this game for the Ken Frost Holmes Dolphins.
Yeah, Barry will check back in to the game for Bishop. Bishop's had a solid game tonight, really in tandem with Hurst. There's a lot of physicality in that last quarter, Gav, as the Dolphins start to celebrate.
It's the captain at the line, puts down the first and the second. And the Phoenix have called a timeout. To advance the ball would be the only reason, I would say, Alex.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a formality from here, Gav. But they'll launch a three, perhaps, and just ask the question if they can get it off in time. But I was pretty impressed, though, with the Phoenix, the way they fought back and gave themselves a chance. They'll be disappointed with their energy in that second quarter. That really gave them that deficit. If they want to be, like I said, that championship contender, they can't have such a deep drop-off. Even though they had the game the night before, the energy levels, I guess they dropped off, you know, for them. They'll be sorry that they let that happen, but certainly the fight back was just incredible. Even a couple of possessions where they got an offensive board, they didn't just shoot the easy layup, they found a three-point shooter just to maximize the scoreboard impact. But they'll be disappointed going 0-2 this weekend.
Yeah, the Dolphins have certainly weathered the storm as Wallace puts up that shot. It doesn't fall, and the Ken Frost Home Dolphins finish with a couple of home wins to finish the season. Great effort by the girls, great effort by Coach Williams. They've had a very good year. Unfortunately, not going to make the playoffs, but potential there with some of the younger ones that Kerry's had on the bench.
It was an exciting game tonight, Gavin. Like you said, it was an exciting moment in the season of really great quality basketball. I really enjoyed really getting to chat with you about the game, and certainly the girls showed just a lot of skill, and it's because of their imports that they've been able to bring in. As you know, they haven't had two imports previously. So if this is a pattern for the Dolphins, then that's a positive sign. They can get a talented group together, and now if they can form those friendships and those camaraderie like you see with Kennedy and Pryor having played together for so long, get that with all the team, then it's a positive thing for where this group can head.
Yeah, they certainly have done well with what they had this year. They showed that they could put the points on the board. They showed that they've got the strength to be able to muscle it with some of the better teams. Were certainly outclassed by Townsville a few weeks ago, but up against the Phoenix tonight with both Hurst and Bishop, the talent that those two have, they have just been able to hold it with them tonight. They've done a great job.
It's a dynamic duo, Hurst and Bishop, and good contributions off the other players for Phoenix tonight. It might not have been offensive scoring per se, but there was certainly a lot more up and in pressure on their hot shooter, on the Dolphins' hot shooters. So Phoenix are going to go into the playoffs not as high a seed as what they hope for, but they're high-fiving each other now, Gab, because they know that the real test comes in these next few weeks in the finals for the women's QBL.
So the Ken Frost Holmes Dolphins finish the season with another home win here at Early Settler Stadium. Great job by Kerry and the girls this year. Alex, thanks for joining us again tonight. We'll be back shortly with the men's game and with a few different things. So hope everybody's enjoyed tuning in to us this year. It's something different for Cairns basketball, and we'll certainly be looking to doing it again next year, and we'll go again